That's right. It's time to reach into our manager's first aid kit. And while the word manager means those in authority, it means you too. How one manages oneself, one manages one's relationships, one manages people. And so this morning, as usual, we'll continue our journey through the pages of the book, Managing, the manager's first aid kit. Joan Underwood has scripted it all. She's put it all together for our benefit. Joan, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
A wonderful Wednesday morning to you. How was your yesterday?
It was very quiet, actually. Yeah. And
Mhm.
just basking in all the excitement and the pride of this
Yes.
major accomplishment.
And oddly enough, that's one of the things we're going to talk about this morning as well, as we recognize that you can't pour from an empty cup. And as I read this, I thought to myself, Joan, get out of my head. Would you get out of it? Because it's exactly what I say a lot. And I'm glad that we're talking about this as well. I want to simplify it to even relationships, because oftentimes people expect something from a relationship that doesn't exist because it was never invested. And so we're talking about how we care for oneself, managing one's self. And this is the last chapter in that component of the book, by the way. So when you say you can't pour from an empty cup, what are you saying?
Well, for you to be able to bring forth something, whether it's effort, industry, whatever it is, it has to exist within you to
Mm-hmm.
begin with. Right? And very often we keep going and going and going, and we don't take time to replenish. So if we use the image of maintaining a vehicle, so you jump in your car every day, turn the ignition on, press gas, and you go. You never take the time to check your oil, look at your gas tank, check your tires. There's going to come a point in time where that vehicle, you're going to turn the ignition and nothing is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same with ourselves and our own energy, our own ability to function. We must replenish our resources.
And replenishing of those resources require a few things that we need to be mindful of, because sometimes we either set ourselves up for failure or we set ourselves up for success, one way or the other. But if we don't take enough time to make sure that we are prepared to achieve, then we fail and then we wonder why. Sometimes rest is so very, very critical.
Oh, all the time rest is critical. And I've already told you about me and how I feel
Yes.
about rest. Yeah,
Yes.
because the thing is, even though we think we're doing okay, because a lot of people wear sleep deprivation as if it's some badge of honor.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh, I only slept, and we say it as if it's something of which we should be proud. And we think that, oh, it doesn't matter, I'm good, I'm managing. But the thing is, you may be managing, but are you performing at an optimal
Mm.
level? So the people in the medical profession, Mayo Clinic, for example, they say that for an adult, the average adult, we should be getting 7 hours of sleep per night in order to be able to function optimally. Now, I remember saying this in a training exercise, and people were like, I can't tell the last time I slept for that long,
That's
and
true.
I'm okay. I said, but you may be feeling okay, but the thing is, you could be doing even better
Mm.
if you were taking care of your body in the way that it needs to be taken care of.
Some would say to you, sleep is overrated. Is it sleep or is it rest? Is it some recreation? Is it something else? But you're saying shut down, shut down.
Yes. And it's not either or. We do need deep sleep and quality sleep and not
Hmm.
your fitful sleep. But our body does need to rejuvenate overnight. And so it's important that we have that complete shutdown so that the restorative things that need to happen can happen. However, in addition to a good night's rest, we need to be sufficiently in tune with our bodies to realize when it needs a bit of a reprieve.
Hmm.
And way back when we were dealing with the first few chapters, we spoke about the importance of self awareness.
Yes.
And self awareness is at multiple levels. It's awareness of what's happening with us physiologically in terms of what's going on with our body. It's what's happening with us spiritually. mentally, emotionally. We really do need to be sufficiently in tune with our body that when it speaks to us, because I say all the time, our bodies speak to us. We don't always listen.
Mm-hmm.
And initially, the body will start speaking, maybe in a whisper. And if we don't hear the whisper, the volume keeps increasing
Yes.
until eventually the body might start screaming at us because we're not paying attention. And that's when, we have heart attacks, we have strokes, etc. We were getting messages, cues before, but we're not sufficiently in tune that we either heard and understood the significance of what our bodies were communicating to us.
Yes, I'm guilty as charged, Joan. Thank you for reminding me of that. Put me back into prison mentally. That's all right. But thankfully, I've got past a lot of those things. Our viewers are saying good morning to our smiling advisor, Joan Underwood, which is a good thing. The body, your body, your body language alone is such a positive inspiration for a lot of people. And I'm thankful to you for that. Now, you talked about how we can replenish our cup, and you gave us some tips. You gave us at least 10 tips that we can practice
Yes.
towards replenishment of our cup. You said 1, exercise, move. And it says here, in addition to the obvious health benefits, exercise contributes to our emotional well-being. And oftentimes that's one of the things that we overlook. We think exercise is a task, a chore. And you're just saying, no, it's part of our well-being.
Yes, and it's important for you to find something that you enjoy doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have negative emotions caught up with the activity, then you're not going to derive the benefits. So, and be creative. So maybe the gym is not for you. That's okay. There's so many other things you can do because as long as you're moving. So there are games, sporting activities you can get involved with. There's walking, just being out in nature. For me, getting out early in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
doing that walk, and just being able to take in the beauty that is
Yes.
nature and feel the fresh breeze and see the early morning sun. Or if you're not an outdoors type of person, right now there's so many things available online, yoga, um, you know, there's no limit to
Mm-hmm.
what you can do because even with the restrictions now with COVID, there's so many activities that you can get involved with. So do get up, get out, get moving.
Get moving indeed. And I'm going to zip through a few of them because sleep we spoke about, proper nutrition naturally, practice mindfulness, be present in the moment. Why do you think that's important
Yes.
in helping us to replenish our cup?
Okay, so there's something you said some time ago that stuck with me. You spoke about somebody being fretful and it being so unattractive.
Yes, you did.
Far too often we spend the present moment, which it's called the present for a reason. They say because it's a gift. We spend our present fretting about what happened in the past or
Mm-hmm.
worrying about what's going to come in the future. So we don't get to enjoy the now. And it serves no useful purpose because you cannot change the past.
Yes.
And wasting your now fretting about what is to come doesn't what is to come because you don't have complete control. I'm not saying don't plan,
Mm-hmm.
but be present in the moment. Be mindful. Be very conscious of your here and now. Because, and my philosophy is that life equips you with what you need for life.
Yes.
So if you're not paying attention to what's happening in your now, you may miss out on a cue that was provided to help you to prepare for what is to come.
Mm. And this is so biblically sound. I don't even want to preach this morning, Pearson. No, it's not your time to preach. So, okay, so that's it. Be present, practice mindfulness. Express gratitude. We talked about this. Have your journal of gratitude
Yes.
every day. I am grateful for, I am grateful to. All of those kinds of things are absolutely ways that we can replenish. We feel better about ourselves. We feel stronger about who we are. And sometimes it clarifies our thoughts when we're very clear on what it is that we're doing. Make or create something. You are so right on that one because the creative process, you say, results in a sense of accomplishment. Even in being able to
Yes.
create it alone builds on that positive spirit of accomplishment.
Absolutely. And I remember when we went into lockdown last year, and if we Castro Mines back. That was
Yes.
a very stressful time, a very traumatic time for a lot of us. And I remember observing my husband because he's an avid do-it-yourself guy. And I mean, there was hammer was always pounding something, a saw in something, and I was like, "What on earth is he doing?" But then I realized that maybe that's why he's always so calm, is that he focuses on something that gives him a sense of accomplishment. He has
Hmm.
a plan. I'm building this. I'm fixing this. And so he has a sense of accomplishment. He couldn't be out and about the way he usually was.
Hmm.
And so he turned his energy, his focus to something else that within his control. And that was part of my say, okay, so how can I emulate, the good practice
Right.
that I'm seeing there? And as I mentioned before, it was during the lockdown that I sat at my desk and wrote a book. And also, I got into baking banana bread, but the
Whoa,
outcome for that wasn't so
John.
good because then after baking it, I tended to eat it. So, uh,
Don't take my taste buds. I love banana bread, not that you've mentioned it. But you're right. Get into creating something and it really changes again your perspective because you feel a sense of accomplishment when you see the result
yes,
that you've done. And it again fills your cup. You talked about positive imagery where we begin to get into a happy place again, seeing the positive outcomes and again, replenishing the cup. Connect with others. Human connection is so very critical.
indeed, indeed. And I say in the book, there's a reason why solitary confinement is one of the highest forms of
Yes.
punishment. Because we are social beings. We crave that interaction. Some of us more than others, because some of us really enjoy our own company. But the
Hmm.
thing is, if we were deprived of the company of others, it really would take a toll on us.
Yeah.
So do remember to reach out and make a human to human connection.
Indeed. Ask for or accept support, and most of all, breathe. Breathe. Breathe your way through the whole process as well and feel your cup being
Yes.
filled again. But avoid the pitfalls of perfectionism. So many of us find ourselves, particularly us in this business, us in this business, because we want to do it well, we want to do it right. We know that we're before the eyes of everyone. And so everyone has an opinion on what you do. And it gets very difficult, that burden to carry, and it can drain you at the end of the day. So avoiding that pitfall is so very vital.
Yes, and there's so many of us who will, proudly announce, "Oh, I'm a perfectionist," and I
Hmm.
used to be part of that crowd. When people would refer to me as a perfectionist, I mean, I felt good because I'm like, "Oh, they're acknowledging my
That's
high
right.
standard." It actually is counterproductive. First of all, perfection is an illusion. Okay,
Hmm.
there's there's no such thing as being perfect. But what we do in pursuit of perfection is that we stress ourselves out
Hmm.
and we don't enjoy the journey.
Yeah,
And something that I like to remind myself and others is that sometimes good enough is good
it's
enough,
good enough. That's right. That's right.
right? Not everything is an Olympic sport where the only possible acceptable outcome for you is a gold medal.
Hmm.
Sometimes you do things just to enjoy the process of doing it.
So true. Jonah gotta go. I gotta go. And I'm doing it not
Uh,
just for simply enjoying the process, but I'm enjoying the process at the same time as well. Remember, folks, the book is available at Day's Bookstore. You can get a copy today. You can also go online to utdsinc.com. Joan is also there herself to get it. It's available too on Amazon. Someone says, I love this advice. Thank you. Caroline Morris is saying thank you today. Caroline Martins is saying thank you today, Joan, for the advice you're giving to us today, reminding us that, you can't pour from an empty cup. Simple Simon made the pieman. So we've come to the end of managing self. We're going to go into managing others next week, should God spare life. So, Joan, as usual, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
and thank you, Pearson. This is a wonderful way to start my Wednesday morning, spending it with you and the audience.
Good. So our cup is recharged, we're refilled, we're ready to pour again. Thank you, Joan Underwood. What an outstanding woman.